Well, Knicks fans, the winning streak is over in an embarrassing fashion. New York Knicks get destroyed, literally belt the ass on us by the Detroit Pistons again. For the second consecutive meeting, the Detroit Pistons outplayed us, outmuscled us, out everything. But why am I not a little bit more angry? Because, case in point, this is nothing new. Just like in last year, remember that? Weren't the Knicks like 0-8 against the top teams of the NBA? Keep that in mind. Because if you're a Pistons fan, and you want to talk shit, we welcome it. But just like Boston learned, just like every other opponent has learned, when you get to the playoffs, it's a whole different ballgame. But until then, enjoy your victory. We'll hold the L tonight. I'm the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave, and I am joined by a loaded crew, the Knicks and Ish family. And yes, it's time to talk that ish. So if they please, do me the honors.
Hit the intro, man.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. You know we lit Knickerbocker have a talk to 'em. Let's go! Six and Nish. We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. And of course, y'all already know the vibe because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, a.k.a. Fraz Taz, here in the building with the Knicks and Ish panel. Never limited to, but always included, the First Lady of Knicks and Ish. Mrs. Knicks is in the building. Yeah, I mean, join me in a salute for my good brother, the one and only Knickerbocker Ave. I see him down there driving right now. The one and only Yatu Sabe, Mr. Kev Rodriguez. And last but not least, he's been here before, Knicks. She's no stranger to the panel. Our good brother, my God, Dom is in the building. What up, my God?
Yeah, I call him Domstradamus.
Domstradamus, facts. Yo, but as always, press like for your favorite panel. Sharing is always caring. If you're new, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, turn that bell on, set it to all so you get all notifications when we go live. And let me see what's going on in the comments here real quick before I get us started here. Shout out to everybody in the building. What up, Cum? Jimmy J1 is out here. We see you, my guy. My guy, King Q, in the building. Of course, it wouldn't be Knicks and Ish without our day one. Darlene, sis, what up? You in the building. We know you always here. Hey, Pat, whatever this may be. Shout out to AP.
You gotta say it right, bro. We gotta say it right.
All right, AP, welcome in. Shout out to you for being here. I ain't seen no other names other than those. But once again.
Oh, what up, brother?
Oh, Michael Pringle's in the building. Shout out, my guy. But yeah, once again, the Knicks lose to the Detroit Pistons. A lot to a little bit. Again, this wasn't a good look for the Knicks tonight. OG is pad out. But as always, I'm gonna let the panel take it away. Go ahead. Somebody give me their initial thoughts first.
Listen, I'm gonna say like everybody else, right? No OG, no cat. You did what you were supposed to do. beat the Knicks up without their star play, without two of their best players. I mean, it's gonna be hard to win, especially against a number one team like Detroit, as physical, as good as they are. You need all your pieces together. And OG was playing dominant basketball on both ends of the floor. Cat was starting to pick it up, and we had some kind of momentum going into this game, and then once I seen that those two guys were out, I kind of knew it was gonna be one of those games because it's gonna be tough, man. Like Detroit ain't no joke, and then they were doing as bad as a shooting team. I think they shoot 35% from the 3-point line. Today they was just killing us from the 3-point line. And we just made no adjustments. I kind of feel like when we was in the game, we kind of shot ourselves out of the game. Right after Mikal Bridges hit them 2 3-pointers. After that, it was a dub. We went 1 for 9 after that, and then then it was a wrap. I think from what I remember, if I'm correct, we went like 6 for 25 from the 3-point line or some shit like that. So
8 for 33.
6 for 33. Look at that. So not moving the ball, turning the ball over. Just it was a hard game for the Knicks to win. But like everybody else say, when we beat when we beat teams that are not healthy, it's you guys beat this team because they're not healthy. Well, Detroit did the same thing to us in this game, man. We didn't have all our guns, so it is what it is, man. Pack it up, on to the next Sunday against the Celtics.
Sis?
Do my face say how I feel?
Let them know how you really feel.
Just a little.
Pissed the fuck off. I'm pissed the fuck off because I don't care about anyone missing games. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is I saw no effort. I saw absolutely no effort, and that bothers me. Not on the offensive end, not on the defensive end. It was like we took a step back, not from 9 games ago. Like, I'm just so confused. You know what I mean? Like, 22 assists. Is that going to win us basketball games? Absolutely not.
Jackass.
8 for 33 from behind the arc. Is that going to win us games?
Jackass.
Absolutely not. The fact that our highest scorer was Mikal Bridges with just 19 points against the number one team in the East is not going to win us games. JB had a terrible shooting night and just kept shooting. I don't give a fuck if he's the captain. That is not okay. That's just not okay basketball. If you don't have it going shooting, get everyone else involved. You set the tone. You're the captain. You're the leader. You're the point guard. You set the tone. And today was absolutely terrible. Terrible. I'm almost speechless. Like, that's how mad I am. Because not only did we lose, we got our ass whipped. Again. Like, as if the last time they beat our ass didn't matter. You know, like, when you're in high school and you get beat up, like, you want to fight again, right? Like, you come out mad, you come back mad because you want to fight again. I didn't see that fight from this team. And I don't like that. I just don't like it. I could go on and on because y'all already know I don't like Mike Brown. Y'all already know I don't like Mike Brown. And this is what I be saying. The offense looks good when the shit is going down, but when it don't, there's no fucking plan B, and this is the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, mute yourself, bro.
Dom Stradamus, would you please?
I love following Anna because it's kind of easy because you could just say, But to the let's beat Av's point to death, 8 for 33. Let's beat Anna's point to death. Brunson can't hit, and you still only end up with 4 assists. And guys, we know what's weird? 8 games in a row, and we're 10-10 in our last 20 games. And guess what? Detroit was missing Durant. Guess what? Detroit played last night. Maybe I got caught napping because I was like, man, they just played last night. Yeah, they played at home. But I didn't think they would be a little angry that they got whooped by the Wizards, so they're going to take it out on the Knicks. That's just what they did. And to Anna's point, no effort, no adjustments. And here we go with how we ordain people something that they're not when we're winning. You know, Shamet, he's a good shooter. He's not Jerry West. You could say who we were missing, Cat, OG, but they whooped our ass with them the last time we played them. And guess what, guys? Not to keep saying, remember, guys, especially Anna, before they played Detroit last time, what was we saying? Man, they're a different animal. They're fast, they're physical, they're athletic. And guess what? They did it again. What did they hold the Knicks to, guys? Hold on, 80 points. The Knicks only won one category, just one. I think it was offensive rebounds.
It was.
That was it. They got beaten every other category. So to Anna's point, yes, 0 effort, piss poor shooting, no ball movement equals ass whoop. We can't dwell too far into it. I hate to say it is what it is. And guess what, guys? Sometimes you got to be honest and just say we lost to a better team. They are a better team than us. Their record proves it. Their matchup with us proves it. So until we find some kind of kryptonite against these clowns, it's not going to be an easy road. And again, guys, come on. That 8-game winning streak, I don't expect nobody to rattle it off the top of the head. But who did we beat? You know, we beat some good teams. We beat some teams we were supposed to beat. And like I said, 20 games with 10-10, which is kind of funny after winning 8 in a row to be 10-10 after 20 games. But I'll digress for now. It was an ass whooping, guys. Serious. That's why Anna's looking away. And again, not to be I hate following. But you see what this guy does. We get high on an 8-game winning streak, and this guy's the next Red Auerbach. But when we're down and we're out, I don't see no adjustments. I don't see, hey, Av, let's get together. And, you know, they was getting whooped quite a lot for a while in this game, guys. And what did you see?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't seen the fight of last year. I don't think this season thus far have we seen the Knicks go down 20 plus and come back. We just haven't. We haven't. And last year, that's what we were known for.
Mm-hmm. And we did it in the playoff 2 games in a row against supposedly a better team than us.
Right.
Because there was, whether you liked it or not, guys, and I'll say it again, we're missing Deuce. So I got to pause and say, well, you know, our best 2 guys off the bench ain't Mitch and Deuce no more. But that's what we had last year. You got the naysayers that said, oh, we only played Anna and Av coming off the bench. But we won. We won 51 games. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Everybody was on this minutes restriction, this minutes police shit. But now we're spreading the minutes. But there's, again, when you're winning, it looks great. You don't see the non-adjustments when you're winning. But when you're losing and you're getting your head handed to you, and these guys played, 20 hours ago, and you go out like that with 80 points?
So we got a super chat. Would have been the same result if Utah was 1 game over 500. Knicks would lose to them. This group is incapable of beating good clubs on the road. At this very point in juncture, it's kind of hard to argue. Thanks so much, APAP, for the super chat. Much love and respect. The reality is that I don't know how this would be different if this was at Madison Square Garden, but in the same way that I opened the show tonight, the Knicks were 0-10 against the three top teams in the NBA last year. That was the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And
you trying to not drive yourself crazy, Knickerbocker.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. But the reality is that at that point in juncture, we were getting smoked. And I mean smoked by all 10 of those contests. I think maybe one or two of them was semi-close. And I think it was like maybe under 20. And that's semi-close in the NBA these days. What's going on with these Knicks against these Pistons these days is just the Pistons are much bigger. They're a larger team. They're quicker. They are tougher. They do foul a lot. I will say this. People want to say that, they're ultra physical. No, they're ultra fouling. Some of the shit that they be getting away with is crazy. But at this point, if it gets you the dub, who cares how many fouls you get? If you're driving your opposition, to off their game to where they're unable to establish any kind of play, and every point that they get is a struggle, then you're doing the right thing. But I'm just kind of curious to see is that how would you fare that in a 7-game series? Because now you're not playing them, once every other month, every 10 to 20, 25 games. Not to say that Detroit is not a good team, because they've been a good team for the last 2 years, and this year they're really coming out and gunning. They're really looking for the opportunity to pay back the Knicks for eliminating them last season. So I'm not losing my mind at this yet. It is very frustrating and shit. I'll be completely honest. In the fourth quarter, I started to nod off because it's like I'm not missing anything. The end result was going to be the end result, regardless. But I'm going to echo what Mrs. Knicks just said. The effort was not there. The ball movement wasn't there. I think I mentioned that in our group chat, a couple of times. The help defense wasn't there. It's too much dribble, and they're dribbling into traps and dribbling right into situations where they're getting double teams. And Detroit just knows how to be ultra physical, but using their size, their length, and their speed. And they just kept the Knicks flat-footed the entire night. Josh Hart couldn't do shit tonight. JB, what did he finish with? 12 points on 4 for 20 shooting. And this is with Cade Cunningham having a 4 for 11 shooting night. So, we'll hold the L. We got to regroup, because we got to fly to Boston tomorrow and meet them on Sunday, and hope that this doesn't repeat itself, because we owe them another, for the last time we were in Boston. But is this a moment for us to panic? I don't think so. But I do think that the Knicks kind of have to look at themselves tomorrow morning, or at least tonight, right before they go to bed, and think to themselves, what the fuck just happened? Because this is now the second consecutive trip to Detroit where you get embarrassed right out the fucking gym. And it's ridiculous that a team that with championship aspirations has this kind of success on the road. Not every game is going to be at Madison Square Garden. So you have to be able to, to compete and succeed on the road. And the Knicks haven't figured that out yet. They're below 500. What up, Brandon?
Can I say one thing? What's weird about this year, though, Av, is nobody won a home game last year in them playoffs. This year, Detroit hasn't lost a home game. But I think the hardest part for me to swallow after this game, not only did Detroit play a back-to-back, but we probably played our best game of the season against Denver, where a game we possibly could have lost with Karl Anthony Towns and his low basketball IQ with that foul at the end. Then Bridges does the same thing, but you still stuck together and pulled that game out. Then you go to Detroit, the team ahead of you, like, okay, it's time to man up. We got to get them this time, Anna. And you get smoked the same way you got smoked the last time you was there. That takes the wind out the sails of what we just did. And again, Denver was hurt. Just like tonight, Detroit played without Herter, LeVert, Durant. And they played back-to-back.
LeVert played.
LeVert played tonight.
So,
Herter played tonight too.
Yeah, and to your point, Cade Cunningham, but to you and Anna's point, Cade Cunningham played like crap. But guess what? He still had 7 assists. Where our point guard shot like crap, but he only had 4 assists. So you would think if you don't have it, that's the part that scares me going down the stretch, guys.
Yeah, that is a horrible number to see, considering that their bench. I mean, it's not like nothing to write home about it. It's like, oh my god, but 66 points from their bench. I mean, that's the definition of next man up mentality, and we did not have it tonight.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, I'm beyond frustrated. I mean, I'm not in panic mode, but I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated as fuck. Because like you said, we played our asses off against Denver, who played as just as physical. And, you know, Detroit is a good team, but I'm not going to hold you. They beatable. They hacked like crazy. The Knicks did not continue to attack. Like, you had Cade Cunningham with 3 fouls in the second quarter, and you don't attack? Y'all played scared. Y'all played like pussies. The whole team played like pussies.
I think the scary part to that part, Anna, is even though he had those fouls, they were so far ahead. Nobody on their starting 5 played more than 25 minutes. And that was Tobias Harris. He's the only one to play 25 minutes. Stewart, 15. Stewart, 21. Cunningham, 21. Robinson, 19. Thompson, 23. Minutes played. And you still lost by 28 points. So don't give me the missing Towns and OG. These guys played, 2 quarters of actual basketball, and they whooped your ass by 28.
38.
30, excuse me.
38.
Yeah, 38, yeah.
We'll give them the credit for what they do. If you're a Pistons fan, you have to be ecstatic because this is.
What did they beat us by last time, Av?
What was it, 30?
30, right?
32?
Yeah.
So now if you got 2 30-point L's, as a Knicks team, with, again, championship aspirations, and you head into Detroit, who was the number 1 team, number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and basically has, your blood on, they have a taste for your blood. They've been wanted to see you specifically, after the elimination of the first round last year, and they've answered the call.
Let's not be stupid, guys. We had this conversation before the last game. They're a team that had high aspirations. Though they were young, they had aspirations. And guess what? They came out the box trying to prove it. And really, nobody's been able to stop them in the Eastern Conference. That's kind of a lot of pressure for a young team. These guys are getting better every time you look around. And they're the number 1 seed. So, I'm not saying pack your bag, but you better find them. You better find some kind of kryptonite against these kids, or your ass might be going home early, whoever they play. I mean, plus they're going to be the favorite. If everything stands the way it is today, they'll be the favorite in each round because they're the number 1 seed. And they'll have home court advantage.
They'll have home court advantage, which will be an enormous kryptonite for the Knicks, considering how well we do on the road this season. In comparison to last season, we were a pretty good road team. We were
right.
And for some reason, that has changed. And I think it has. I'm sorry, I have to call it out again. It has to do with the offense and the schemes. It doesn't make sense to me. How is it that you're gonna have a team that made to the Eastern Conference Finals, shoot 35% from the field, but still chuck up 33 threes when you only made 8 of them?
Mhm.
I understand that Detroit pretty much clogged the paint. They owned the rebounding. They won the rebounding wars by what was it, by +9. But you can still move the ball and not do what you've coined the phrase dribble, 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 and dribble, dribble, dribble right into double teams and traps. You're walking right into Detroit's wheelhouse, and they're just dismantling you each and every time, systematically, and basically taking you completely off of your game, which results in another 30-point plus loss.
France,
Ain't really much to say. I think I done said every damn thing already. I don't think there's nothing that I really could say. But hey, we got packed up. Next game. That's all I got to say about that. I think y'all heard everything from everybody already, y'all.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna add this. If Alvarado is cleared to play next game, I don't want to see Jordan Clarkson play again. Not another minute. I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done. And y'all know I liked him, and I advocated for him even when he was doing bad. But that man, with his fucking turnovers and his loosey goosey dribbling, I don't know if you think you the Jordan Clarkson from when you was 20, 21, 22, but you ain't that Jordan Clarkson no more. And I'm done. If Jose Alvarado can suit up next game, I should not see Jordan Clarkson on the floor again.
I think I was mentioning it that we all knew that Jordan Clarkson was no defensive specialist. But dude, you can stay in front of your man. That is basic basketball fundamentals. Stay in front of him. You don't play defense with your hands. You play defense with your body. Homie had no coordination whatsoever. Any guy he defended walked right around him like he wasn't even there, like he was a piece of paper, and say, move. And did what they wanted to do. How many? He played 19.
I mean, forget defense, offense. I mean, granted, he scored 11 points, but he had like 3 back-to-back turnovers because his dribble is so not point guardish. Like, that's the best way to say it. Like, he has no handle anymore. I'm done.
You got to remember, guys. I hate to always say I said something, but when the Knicks got him, I was like, who don't have league pass? I understand everybody don't have league pass, but this guy, he is what he is, man. I said this in the beginning of the year. He is what he is. He'll shoot you in. He'll shoot you out of a game. He's lazy on defense. And like Anna said, his dribbling is, Lord have mercy. Come on.
Basura.
You got to admit, when you see him dribbling, you're like this. Just grab the ball and shoot, man. You know, just be a spot-up shooter. You're not Earl Monroe. Give up the rock, man. Unless you're wide open, give up the rock. He can't dribble. He can't play D. It's like his head is not in the game unless he has the ball in his hand.
It's so bad. One of my friends in my group chat that I'm in, he said, just pack him up and bring in Cam Thomas at this point.
Yeah.
You know what?
At least the man could shoot.
And you know what you're getting, Anna. He ain't going to pass the ball, but he's a pretty good shooter.
But shit, Clarkson barely passed the ball too.
And he's not a pretty good shooter. He's chaotic, but I hate to put the blame on Knicks fans. Because again, guys, let's be honest. Some of us, some of them, I won't say us, get a little too high, a little too quick. You know, we had some people saying this guy was going to be sixth man of the year. Like, you never saw him play before. I mean, I know it seemed like a big splash because that was our problem last year, so they said, right? Our bench production. So we go out and get this guy, and it's like, wow, yay. So, yeah, sometimes be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Marley. What up, Marley Moore?
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Or actually, before we do that, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. I know it's a little bit depressing, to be spending a Friday night after having the team get served up like they did tonight. But looking ahead at the schedule before the All-Star break, the New York Knicks on Sunday afternoon will head into Boston to take on the Celtics. Followed by Tuesday, they're back home to take on the Indiana Pacers. And then to close out, the first half of the season, they head back to Philadelphia, take on the 76ers right before the All-Star break. But I do have to note that we do play the Detroit Pistons first game back after the All-Star break at home on Thursday, February 19th. So just the next three. Really quick, Anna, how do you see that going?
The next three, we better win every fucking game. That's what I see.
Raz?
We can't lose to Boston. They won today, so they're now a game ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we lose, then we're 2 games behind them. We can't lose to them. We cannot.
2 games behind.
The Pacers,
and the tiebreaker.
right. The Pacers, we need to win just because I fucking hate the Pacers. Like, that's it. And the Sixers, they better motherfucking win because I'm going to be in Philly.
Oh. Yeah. Raz?
Well, I did originally tell y'all 5-2 with these last 7 games. It's holding true right now because we're what? 3-1 right now?
Yeah.
Out of the 7. So
right.
Yeah, I'm still sticking to my guns 5-2. And
so who we losing to?
I hate to say it, but the way that listen, I watched that. I saw a lot of that Celtic game tonight. They picked up Vukovic from the Bulls. I'm gonna say it like this: we got some work to do to beat them come Sunday. All right. As much if OG and Cat ain't playing, I'll chalk that one up as an F. Real talk. But this team gotta get it. They gotta get it together, and they gotta get back to putting that effort in. Because we're not gonna be anybody if you play like this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna say 5-2 still. I think the next game probably will be another loss. Because listen,
it goes in trends.
The way Boston came back from 20 plus tonight to beat Miami, that's all I'm gonna say. Listen, we got some work to do to deal with Boston because they're not going away quietly, even without Jason Tatum. So yeah, we need to get it together.
Anybody in the chat, please let us know what do you guys think are going to be the Knicks are going to do over the next 3? Don Stradamus?
I'm with Anna. They should win all 3, but again, it could be 2-1 or it could be 1-2. The only real gimme you got is against Indiana,
right?
And I hate to say even that could be that could be a question mark at times because
that could be a trap game.
Yeah, they have nothing. When you got nothing to lose, like Indiana, they ain't got to lose. Maybe a lottery spot, but they're playing the Knicks, so they're gonna take that game, whether they tank the rest of the year or not. There is that I hate the Knicks, I hate Indiana thing, but I'll settle for 2-1 rather than 1-2. I don't think they'll win all 3. They're gonna lose to the Sixers or something. Like Pra said. If you watch some of that Celtic game tonight, and this guy didn't play that much. I think he may have had 11 or 12 points. Vukovic, but his presence is just. And guess
Bro,
what, guys?
Double, bro, in limited minutes.
Yeah. And guess what? He's always been a Knick killer.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. He's always been a Knick killer. And he might slip his way into the starting lineup by the time we played him Sunday.
Well, I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah.
He was already in the starting lineup tonight. What are we talking about?
No, I don't think he was, Price.
I think
he came off the bench.
He came off.
Yeah, he came off the bench. Because he didn't play that much. But hold on before I go. He still ended up with 11 points, 4 of 8, 12 rebounds in 27 minutes. So, yeah, he'll be starting Sunday. He's going to be starting Sunday.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be starting Sunday. And at this point, you got to hope that, at least everybody but Deuce McBride better be all hands on deck on Sunday. 3-0 is possible. But I'm going to safely say 2-1 because I think that the Knicks will probably take out Boston. They'll walk over to Indiana. But that fucking backcourt of BJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, they get me.
That's the night before my birthday. We can't lose.
I know that. I'm very much aware of that. Boston's going to give us trouble, but I think the Knicks will respond. But I think that if Boston comes to play, with the same kind of energy they played tonight against Miami, then yeah, it can very easily be 1-2. But what it cannot be is 0-3. That's for damn sure. It cannot go 0-3. Not just because of the fact you're losing to the Pacers on top of that, but you just basically undid all that legwork you did in that 8-game winning streak. So it's put up or shut up. Just like you want to close out the period of a game, you got to close out the first half and head into the All-Star break, and get the much needed rest because honestly, I don't want to see any Nick. I actually don't even want to see Cat and JB in the fucking All-Star game. I'm not even going to watch the fucking All-Star game. Shit, I know Dom's not going to watch. He hasn't watched one in 10 years.
No. We got to start watching out for, guys. Between 3 positions. Between the 3rd seed and the 6th seed is only separated by 3.5 games.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the play-in. We're almost guaranteed of that. They're not going to be in the play-in.
No, they're not playing.
No. Unless they really hit the skids. But, again, if you dip below 4, you forfeit any home court advantage. And there's only 2 games separating that. We all laughed and joked about Cleveland can't get out their way, and they are currently 2 games behind the Knicks. And again, we're 10-10 our last 20 games.
And the crazy part is they just picked up James Harden too.
Yeah, and just think, Orlando didn't get healthy yet.
We'll talk about the trades in a little bit. I know we touched on them over the last couple of days, but now that the trade deadline is over, we can at least give final grades. And I really want Dom's take on some of these teams. Next on the docket here is I think there was an article out there that the Knicks passed on Giannis Antetokounmpo twice. Figuratively and literally speaking, we already know the Knicks were the only team that he requested to be traded to over the summer. It happened around August, and there was a 2 or 3 week exclusive window that the Knicks had to make a deal for Giannis, and no deal was made. According, depending on who you ask, whether you ask the Knicks or the Bucks, neither side was really interested in making a serious offer. Go throughout the entire season, Giannis going through injuries and getting booed out of his own building, and it's the writing has been on the wall. He wants out, and all these teams probably came up with some kind of offer. And if you listen to the talking heads, they were staggering offers, but no deal was made. And if you ask me, the main reason why it's actually twofold. One, the fact that he's injured right now. Whether you believe he's injured or not is, we can talk about that later. But the main reason why the deal never really happened is he only wants to go to one place. And this is not no New York centric homer, go home, kind of thing. I think he just genuinely wants to be here. We know that he bought a lavishly, big expensive mansion out in the Hamptons, which I don't understand what makes the sense of that. If you're going, if you're going to be in the Hamptons and the thing is up in, upstate basically, and then you got to go to the Garden, that's going to be a lot of fucking traffic. But he wants to be here. That, and I think that Milwaukee is still trying to figure ways to to convince him to stay, but he just wants to come here. So, what are your thoughts to the fact that Giannis has been passed up by the New York Knicks? Whether you believe that the Knicks believe this team can win a title as currently constructed, or maybe because of the lack of draft capital or the lack of assets, whatever the reason may be, let us know in the comments. But I'm going to throw it to you, Fraz, first. What are your thoughts on the Knicks passing on Giannis twice?
Basically, let's be real, Knicks fans. To trade for Giannis would mean that you would have to give up some form or some combination of Karl Anthony Towns and some combination of either OG, Mikal, and Deuce McBride, just because the simple fact is you got to make the money work and have fair compensation in the trade. As I've stated thousands of times here on Knicks Ish, any trade that Knicks made is pretty much dollar for dollar, being the fact that they're so close to the second apron. So, trading for Giannis would mean Cat will have to go, either OG, Mikal, or Deuce in some combination, some way, shape, or form will have to go. And that's a little too much to be given away just to go after Giannis, who's only going to play half of games and probably not going to play most back-to-backs anyway because of the simple fact of his injury. So again, I would rather stay pat with this team and deal with the ups and downs than to bring over Giannis, trade away possibly one or both spots of Wingstop 2.0, give up my best backup point guard and Deuce McBride just for injury-prone Giannis, who's probably only going to play half the games in the season. It doesn't equate. So I'd rather stay put and deal with what we got right now than to have to pretty much trade away half the farm just to get Giannis over here.
So I'm going to say this. I'm glad our front office has some fucking common sense. Because if we learn nothing from having Melo on our team, we learned that you can't gut your team for one player. So I'm absolutely glad Leon Rose and Worldwide West and everyone else in that front office has some common sense. Because had they did that, I told y'all I wouldn't watch another damn game. If you really want to be a Knick, the way you say you want to be a Knick, I think you have a player option. You opt out.
He got 2 years left. He got one
opt out during whenever it's time for you to opt out, and then you make it happen. But you do not trade your entire team for one player. Like Fraz said, it will be a combination of Cat, one of the wing guys, and Deuce, or Jalen, one of the wing guys, and Deuce, which we know that's not happening. So you losing so much of what has worked for us. You know what I mean? Like that, it just doesn't even make sense. I'm not big on Giannis. I don't care. I think he's a crybaby. I think he wants too much control. He's going to force his brothers to be part of that trade. And if you think that's not true, go look at who's the coaches of the celebrity games. Him and his brothers. So basically, we're going to have Giannis and two dudes just holding up roster spots for no motherfucking reason that are never going to get burned.
One that we already had here.
I'm good. I'm good.
And let's not forget, Giannis don't hit free throws. What do we want him here for if he don't hit free throws?
Dom?
First of all, I don't think the money is a big object because I think him and Towns' contract is pretty close.
Yes,
it is.
I don't buy into this guy no more, guys. Serious. He's too fickle. I want out. I want to be a Buck for life. I want out. I want to be a Buck for life. We don't need that. Because if he comes to New York and things go a little left, what's he going to do? Is he going to turn into James Harden? Every time I get traded and things go a little left, I want to be traded. No, leave him where he's at. And I said this in the beginning of the year. We had so many Knicks fans, some of us included, not me, but some people, I'll say, that to them, this was the greatest roster they ever saw the Knicks have in their Nickism. And why would you want to upset that apple cart for a guy like Ross said, going to play half the game, or maybe not even that? He's 30, what? I don't know what. How old was he? 30 what?
He's like 31.
31 right now.
Yeah. So that means come next season, he'll be turning 32, and injuries have been hitting him. And it could be predicated on the way he plays. He plays hard. He plays like Derrick Rose. Everything is a
Yeah.
So his life expectancy, basketball life, I should say, it ain't worth it, man. The risk is not worth the reward. Sorry. I don't care who we had to trade for him. We could have just said, let's give up 3 bench players. I just don't think the risk is worth the reward with this guy. Not anymore.
And let's not mention, going back to what you said, we ain't no motherfucking Milwaukee.
Right.
Exactly. You try that shit here, it's going to be a problem. Like, people going to be at the bus waiting for you when you come out of MSG type of problem. He ain't about that life. He ain't about that New York life.
I thought, to be honest, guys, until I looked at it geographically, I thought his best fit would have been Golden State. But Golden State is closer to the Pacific Ocean than the Atlantic Ocean. And Greece is closer to the Atlantic Ocean than it is the Pacific Ocean, geographically speaking. I don't think he wants to do all of that because he goes home a lot. And he already said when he's done with basketball, he's going back home for good. So I'm assuming he wanted to be somewhere on the East Coast, but I'm a hard pass. Serious. And I'm ready to give up Towns, guys. You heard me say this, Av, and I go back to when we talked about getting Towns 5 years ago. Right. I'm to the point now where his basketball IQ is just killing me. Serious. It's just killing me. His crying up and down the court for a foul, not a foul. And you know what? You're taking yourself out the game. You're taking us out the game because now we're playing 5-on-4 because your ass is back there moaning. You ain't that good of a defensive player to begin with. You want to stay on the other end wailing. No, man, I've had enough of him, guys. Serious. If it was somebody else that the trade was for, I might be in because I can't stomach this dude no more, guys. For real. I know he puts up good numbers, but he takes us out of too many games. We almost lost that game against Denver because of him. Serious. Yeah. First of all, homie, stop crying about fouls because you do enough dumb offensive fouls where you should really not want to even touch nobody on defense. Just let them score. But you can't even do that right. So, no, I'm this far away from saying he to me, he's the elephant in the room, guys. Serious. If he plays the way he plays, we might go home early. He got to get his shit together.
The fact that the Knicks have given up on Giannis, first of all, I've never been also big on Giannis either. No. I've never been. I never thought that he was this great. I never considered him in the top 10 in the NBA. I know his numbers say differently. I know his performances and his legacy kind of like, overshadow his talent and all that stuff. The fact that he's making as much money as he is, he's making what 54 million this year, 58.4 next year, and his player option in 27, 28 is going to be worth $62.786 million. That's more than a third of your salary cap in the next coming years. And as Fraz alluded to, for a guy that doesn't play every game, he's not going to play every game. He's not going to be. He does not shoot. He doesn't hit free throws. And although he's a skillful defender because he uses his size correctly and he blocks up a lot of lane, a lot of turns, what good is it if you're not on the floor applying that? And I know that there was some kind of an article out there that that Milwaukee wanted Brunson, which that's a fucking ridiculous idea. We're not trading the captain. You're trying to team him up with Brunson, not give up Brunson. Where's the mentality there? If anything, if I was Giannis and you want out of Milwaukee, go to Chicago. Go somewhere else. I mean, I say go to Chicago because at least it has a large Greek population there.
Yeah,
we know that New York is not the only place where Greeks are. You can always go to Chicago. If it's only to build your legacy, because now you can say you ended 2 50+ year championship droughts in 2 cities, Milwaukee and New York. Pass. I mean, as much as I consistently say that I want an NBA championship because that's the only title that I have not seen and lived through, I'll give it up for that because I don't want it under those terms. I want it under the terms that you believe in a team that actually built something, fought for something, and did what it was necessary to win it and earn it. I think that Milwaukee holding on to him now it was a power play for them to look into maybe still convince him to stay, and B, they're very much aware of what they'll be much more aware of what where draft picks go in the lottery, where what draft picks are now more available because another year, another 2-3 picks can be traded away. And at that point, where teams like the Knicks, like the Miami Heat, like the Chicago Bulls, like the Golden State Warriors, like the Lakers, where they stand. You know exactly where they stand because the season had ended and contracts have to kind of, be dealt with. The Knicks kind of pinned themselves in a hole here because it's a championship or bust kind of situation in terms of their salary, in terms of draft capital, in terms of everything. So if they don't win it now, and they're going to, then the consensus is that, now they're going to be desperate to go after him. Maybe, maybe not. But if they don't win the title, you can't expect to run it back. Running it back is not an option. You have to get better because Boston will be back. If they're not back now, they will be. Indiana will have Tyrese Halliburton back. Other teams are going to be tooling. You saw, I'm sure that Cleveland will do something because I don't think that, honestly, them adding James Harden, they're not better. But they're more appealing now, at least going into next year. And then, other teams out west, both teams are going to be back. They're going to be geared up. And they might also get involved in the Giannis sweepstakes. I'd say let them. And if the Knicks can get involved in the deal so they can get pieces back, or they can move pieces, not to end up with Giannis, but to get involved in the trade so that they can get some pieces back, I'm all for that. Because honestly, I don't see Giannis really being a complementary piece to Jalen Brunson. And personality-wise, I don't know if the two will mix. Maybe I'm wrong. Not like I know Jalen Brunson personally, and I don't know Giannis Antetokounmpo personally. But from what I see from a distance as a fan, I don't see them two really working out, especially if Giannis is not going to play at least 80% of the season. We put in forth the effort 150% in order, to end this 53-year curse the Knicks are currently under.
What you forgot to mention one thing.
Say what?
Why would I trade for a player who's in the prime of his career and hasn't even played more than 50 games in the last few seasons?
You know what, Pros? I look at it where when you say legacy, yes, he won a chip. But again, I always say I'm old enough to remember. I'm old enough to remember how they beat Phoenix. Remember, Phoenix was up 2-0.
Right.
Monty Williams got headstrong, wants to change the whole complexity of this team, sitting DeAndre Ayton because he had a bone to pick with this kid. Remember, he got fired after that. Monty Williams.
Yeah, he cost them the title for that.
Right. He cost them that title, and Antetokounmpo Giannis happened to be in the right place. And don't get me wrong, guys. He played his ass off. He ended a 50-year drought with scoring 50 points, if you want to get into numbers. But I don't – first of all, where did all of these guys say, hey, Anna, I want to go to a contender? If you're going to a contender, that means they have enough players on their team to be a contender, right? I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here. So in order for you to go to a contender, that contender may have to sacrifice too many lambs to still be a contender, i.e., what Anna said, the worst thing we ever did was the Carmelo thing. I do not think we're doing that no more. That's just me, guys. I think we have a smart enough regime where they're not doing that no more. Those days are over.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't think Giannis is that guy, man. Honestly, he shoots 61% from the field, 20% from three. Yeah, he's a hell of a player going downhill. But you remember what Phoenix did the first 2 games? They created that wall. And he couldn't do nothing again. And then Monty Williams decided he wanted to be a different Monty Williams. And they ended up losing the next 4 games. Y'all remember that, right? I'm not making this up.
And then where you going to go downhill? Because this team just shoots 3-pointers and that's it. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
But I will say this, Knickerbocker, I don't agree with you about not running it back. I think you have to run it back.
Yeah.
I think you have to run it back because we can't keep changing stuff every season. We can't keep changing major things. Last year we changed, we got Cat. Off season, we changed, we got a new coach. We can't keep changing because changing is just going to keep setting us back. We have to keep the team and again, try and fix the little things that is wrong. Add more bench pieces. Try to add more bench pieces. Things like that. But I don't think changing a Cat is a smart move because then again, we're changing the complexity of the team.
I can't see them. I'm with you with that, Anna, because guess what? I always say this. Your best role is consistency. And guess what? All the changes we made, remember we acquired Cat early in the season, right before the season started. But he was there the whole year. He's there, and our core 7 is still the same core 7. When you take Mitch and Deuce, our core 7 is still the same core 7. I mean, if you want to throw Kolick in there, make it a core 8. But I will say this, Anna, they only got till next year. Because then age and dollars start to become an issue. Because guess what, guys? When it's all said and done, we're going to be paying Cat $61 million a year. Is that something you want to build around? That's a lot of money, guys. Serious. Mitchell Robinson, when is he finally going to say, I can make more? Just think, Av, because we talked about this quite a few times. Just think if Mitch would have went to Charlotte.
Right.
What Charlotte would be right now. Because they're on a roll, guys, in case you ain't watching. They're on a roll.
Yeah, they're at a game winning themselves.
Yeah, they're missing a big man. They don't have a big man. They don't have a rim protector. You got guys that can run and shoot. But they don't have a rim protector. If he'd have went to Charlotte, guys, And guess what? When's his contract up? This year
season.
or next year?
This season.
So he'll be a free agent again, right? You think he's going to keep settling for 12, 13, 14 mil?
Well, I think that that the trade that they made to get to move off of Yabuselli's deal, and considering that Clarkson's money's going to come off, and they have his bird rights, they can offer him the most money out of every team. But so I don't think it's going to be a money issue. It's going to be a fit issue on whether he wants to stay in New York or not. Which he's given every indication that he loves being here.
Right.
However, it could be a matter of do the Knicks want to offer him the most?
But let me ask you a question, Ab. With the salaries of Bridges, Anunoby, Brunson, Cat, how much room do we have? How much money do we actually have for Mitch?
Well,
guess what? Guess what, guys? We got what's his name on the dirt low for how he plays, Deuce McBride.
Right.
And I always say that all of them play the kids. You woke up one morning, they were all gone. Grimes, Barrett, Quickly. Who was the last man standing?
Mitch.
Deuce McBride. Right. On a down low, dirty low contract. That how long is he going to play for that? You can love where you're at, folks, but this is the NBA. We know what it's about. It's about the Benjamins. He ain't gonna be playing for $3, $4, $5 million for much longer. No, not what he brings to the table. So how much did we pay? How much did we pay Clarkson?
It was like $2 million.
2.2.
How much? Oh, they got him off a waiver though, right? Didn't he get waived?
No, we got him 2.2.
No, we got him off waivers.
Yeah, we got him off of waivers. He had a hell of a contract in Utah. Yeah, we got him off of waivers, and we ended up paying him like $2 something. But again,
yeah, we paid him $2 something.
Where are you going to get a Deuce McBride for $5 million?
Well, Deuce is making 3.9. He's extension eligible after the season.
I was being facetious as saying $5 million.
I know
you
you
got
were
that $15 million contract for like.
Well, his contract was a reverse contract, so he got paid the most early, the first couple of years.
Yeah, it's front loaded.
Right.
Yeah.
But Deuce ain't. I mean, you would.
Deuce is due a paycheck.
Yes, and you would love to say, Av, I know you love us. You're gonna be with us through thick and thin. But somebody offers you $12 million, and you're making $3 million. Hey,
I think that's why it's important to show them that we're this close to winning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because players will take a little less if they know that they're this close to winning the chip. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
So I think that's super important. I mean, the fact that we got their bird rights and it doesn't really affect us too much to offer them the max that we can offer them. Is that how it goes, right?
Yeah. What we can offer them. Yeah, that's not counting. Like I said, I hate to say this, guys. Did we overpay for Anunoby? Did we overpay for Bridges?
Yes, we did.
We took on Cat's contract, guys. We can't. I mean, you knew what you were doing, unless I'm the only one in the country that knows he was going to be making $61 million. You knew what you was getting with him. You knew money. But the other guys, you gave the money to. And guess what? We basically got Brunson on the low, considering what he could have got.
So, looking at the contracts right in front of me, Karl Anthony Towns becomes extension eligible after this season.
After this season,
he becomes extension eligible. He's due $57.1 million next season, with the player option being at 61 and change in the 27-28 season. Then he becomes an unrestricted free agent somewhere along the lines of starting salary of $72 million. OG, he makes 42.5. Jalen, 37.7. Mikal, 33.4. Josh Hart becomes extension eligible next year at 20. He's making about 20.923. Mitchell Robinson, we already know he's going to be a free agent. He's due to make around 24.5 to anywhere 24.5 and $27 million. Jose Alvarado has a player option next year at 4.5. Deuce McBride becomes extension eligible at 3.956. Macomb Dadier, we still have him for on the book for 2.9. Landry Shamet becomes a free agent. Jordan Clarkson becomes a free agent. Tyler Kolek becomes extension eligible at 2.296. And then everybody else is pretty much a free agent. So it becomes a crapshoot depending on what the salary cap is. It's not going to increase tremendously because history hasn't shown us that it increases that much anyway. So
are you willing to add more years and it comes out for less money for Cat?
No,
me either. Not at this age.
Not at his age. I think that if this season doesn't work out, you really consider not the extension, but how do we buy him out?
Because I don't know how Kawhi Leonard.
Buy him out.
You're going to have to. No one's going to take his contract.
Not after this year, Dan.
No one's going to take his contract.
You don't buy him out. You keep him.
That's 61
mil. You have to consider it because of what he does and what he can. Is he a player that constitutes winning? If he doesn't show us this year, and he comes back to us and say he wants an extension, bro. Bro, we really having this discussion, bro?
I don't know how Kawhi Leonard does it all the time. He's mastered that extension thing, hasn't he?
He's got freaking secrets like on Clippers ownership, like the Epstein files, bro. He has something on them.
They couldn't. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from him. When he plays, he's a hell of a player. But the question is when. But he has mastered this extension a year before his contract's over. He'll take less per year, but get more
on the back
in
end.
The long run. Yeah, he's mastered this stuff, guys.
Well, it's really no different than what the Dodgers are doing over in baseball with Shohei Ohtani. They're giving
backloading
the crap out of it, which is great for right now, but then when he starts being 32, 33, 36, and you now have to pay him $100 million for one season, it's like.
But by that time, Av, the ends will have justified the means. I hate to say it because I'm a Yankee fan.
If they build a dynasty, then yeah.
They already have. They already won 2 in a row.
2 in a row, but a 2 is not a dynasty.
No, I'm just saying. So them pennies they've been paying him, by the time he gets to that point, the ends will have justified the means. I hate to say it. I hate the Dodgers, but it is what it is. They've found a way to manipulate this shit. And guess what? In baseball, you don't have to manipulate this. There is no salary cap.
There's just a luxury tax. But
there's a penalty. Like I'm going to pay Av if I go over. Remember when the Kansas City Royals won the World Series? They won it off the backs of every other team that had to pay them with that luxury tax.
And I think that's the thing that drives Hal Steinbrenner up the fucking wall. That's what he's trying to avoid. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's just close on this topic. The trade deadline was yesterday. It's over. What are you guys' thoughts? Who got better? Who got worse? Dom, I've been waiting to talk to you about it. Who got better? Who got worse?
Believe it or not, Cleveland did get better in the NBA that we're in today with the offensive driven league. They got an offensive type player. I like Garland. So I think even, believe it or not, I think the Clippers even got better. I hate to say Detroit added shooting. The Knicks probably got better by not doing nothing except for Alvarado. And let's not, go head over heels with him. Hard-nosed player, gritty, good defensive ball player. But I think between Cleveland, Detroit, maybe the Wizards, the way they can manipulate getting rid of some of these people and still having picks might have benefited. So not many teams, guys, with all the movement. Porzingis went to Golden State. Golden State ship has sailed. So I would think 3 teams really just got a little better. But you think about the teams that were already good and what they did. They didn't do nothing. Boston really didn't do nothing. Cleveland added players to really give Jaden Ivey freedom. They got Herder back, and I forgot who else, by moving Jaden Ivey. So he got some freedom. They got a little more depth with the outside shooting. But I think the Knicks, believe it or not, guys, by not doing nothing, I'll leave it at this, Anna. How do you get that much better? We're probably what? We're over the 50 game mark, ain't we have?
Yeah.
So you're gonna add somebody. Is he gonna make that much of a difference in your rotation to make you that much better, depending on what you sacrifice to get him? I just think the Knicks, you get Deuce McBride back healthy. You keep running this little in and out shit with Robinson. And hopefully we get another guy, or a guy steps up. Shamet, good perimeter shooter coming off the bench. But I think we got better by not doing nothing. And I kept trying to tell people that. I don't think we need to make no moves. And we didn't. I mean, if you want to consider Alvarado, and guess what, guys? I hate to say this. All the hype on this Yabusele, we knew he wasn't a good fit. At least I did. I'm not going to speak for nobody else. I didn't think he was going to be. You understand what Yabusele's doing, right?
Yes.
He needs this year and next year to have his 5 years. And then he gets his free medical for the rest of his life. He'll end up going overseas after next year. He'll make a little bit more money.
More than likely, because he declined his extra year, so he's a free agent after this season.
Right.
He can sign the vet minimum anywhere else
and get his 5 years.
Get his 5 years, and then he can go to France.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good fit from the get-go, guy. Just like I didn't think Clarkson was.
It didn't make sense because we didn't have a freaking coach at the time when we signed him.
Yeah.
If he was with Thibodeau, I think it would have been okay. It wouldn't have been a bad fit, but if he was at least with Thibodeau, he would have been utilized correctly.
And here's another weird thing, guys. I got to stop because I get so frustrated. You waited 50 days to get Shamet, who you could have signed before you signed Clarkson, and then added another piece instead of Clarkson. Think about that. You thought this guy was going to be a better perimeter shooter than Landry Shamet? Granted, I know we got him on the dirt with the buyout, but he's not a better shooter than Shamet, and he was on our team last year. And we dragged that out for how long, man? Almost before the season started.
And almost didn't sign him.
And somebody
we
else.
May not have had him if Brogdon didn't retire.
Oh, yeah, he pulled the flim-flam on us, got a trip to Europe or Saudi, and came back like, yo, thanks, guys. You're right, Anna. I forgot all about that. But, again, we signed Clarkson off that waiver wire before we did anything else. Damn, Brogdon, we could have, before you signed Clarkson, damn, this dude did play pretty good for us last year. Shamet, a pretty good shooter coming off the bench, right? We let this guy hang out in the wind, and then we get him at the last moment and we're stuck with Clarkson.
I mean, I think the problem was we didn't prioritize getting a coach.
That's first and foremost.
We didn't prioritize getting a coach and then bringing in guys that fit his system. So now we have a team set, and then bring in a coach, and then they have to alter the way they play together. And I mean, some say it works because when we're shooting well, it works. I think it doesn't work. There's nothing anyone can tell me to change my mind. Yes, we've won. We've went on winning streaks. Yes, I know that. But tonight was prime example when the shots don't fall. There's no plan B. The offense looks like shit. The defense looks like shit. Like we just look like a fucking JV team playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no fucking plan B.
And you know what, Anna? I'm beyond the Thibodeau thing.
Right.
That was y'all's decision. Y'all decide. But the thing I can't get beyond yet, Anna, is you got rid of Anna, who led you to these great seasons, and it took you 6,000 days to hire a coach. And then after all of that time, you tell me Mike Brown. I have nothing against Mike Brown. Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking you took a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. We could run this back next year, add a couple of pieces. But you get rid of the coach, and then it takes you forever and a day to find a coach. That led me to believe y'all ain't know what the hell y'all was doing.
That's because it was evident that the decision to fire Tom Thibodeau was a James Dolan move because it reeks of James Dolan. James Dolan is impulsive. And because of that whole situation, they were ill-prepared to make any kind of adjustment in preparing who was going to be the candidates to replace him. Because then that's when you remember, they were going to interview all these candidates
that had jobs.
Most of them that who already had jobs. Most of them had just signed extensions with their current teams, and their current team says, like, "Fuck out of here, man! You ain't talking to my coach. Fuck you." It's like you ain't. I mean, I'm sure that some of them would even entertain it had the Knicks not traded 5 draft picks for Mikal Bridges, and they were like, "Well, if you give us 2 of your draft picks, we'll let them happen. We'll let you have."
When Pablo Prigioni said he was staying where he was at, I was lost for words. Seriously, y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
I was done after that. And then how long after that? Hey, Anna, here's Mike Brown. All right. All right. I can't say nothing else, but all right.
Well, I will say that in terms of the trades, I disagree. I don't think Cleveland got better. I think Cleveland got worse. I still think they did. Defensively, they're not. You're not. I'm not expecting. I know James Harden and I mean this whole league is not defensive driven, but you really think that James Harden and Donovan Mitchell could be a great backcourt? Really, when both of them need the ball?
But they kept their rim protectors, though, Av.
They did, and James Harden will definitely help that. But how much of that is it? How much of that is going to impede on Donovan Mitchell and the ability he's going to need because he needs the ball in his hand too?
But I think Donovan Mitchell, I think he'll accept that because we've seen. No, let me finish, Anna. Let me finish, guys. We've seen how he has shrunk in the playoff. Not saying James Harden has it. This dude went 0 forever in a Western Conference Finals. Don't get me wrong.
5 different times.
Yeah,
he's already done.
But Donovan Mitchell might accept this to be like, okay, now I can pick and choose. I don't have to do. I think he gets a get out of jail free card, guys. Honestly, I thought Garland was his get out of jail free card because he could move the ball. But now you got Harden who's going to shoot whenever he has a chance to shoot. And Donovan Mitchell could just say, all right. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're a contender, guys. Don't get me wrong. You know what I really want to say before we go? They need to kick what's-his-name out the league forever. Paul George. Get him out the NBA forever. And I'm not just talking about because of this incident. I'm talking about his last 5-6 years in the NBA. This dude shouldn't have a job. And we said this, Av, when the Sixers got him. How's that going to work? Him and Embiid? Who are they going to represent? The Wounded Warriors? I mean, come on, man. And then he says, you know what? I was going through some mental stuff, and I started taking medicine, and it wasn't all. Really? Come on, man. You're the same guy that told us last year when you got hurt. You know what, Anna? I'm going to concentrate on basketball more than my podcast. Really? Really?
Really,
job. He got to go, guys. Serious. He's another one that has milked this system. Him and Kawhi Leonard have mastered milking this damn system, fellas.
I'm sorry. I think the league would be so much better when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are
Me too. I'm starting to like Joel Embiid because he's so goofy that, that you sit and you wait. When's he gonna fall? When's he not gonna get up? So it's on. It's sort of funny.
You know what kills me? Like the young kids that like think Paul George is the GOAT.
Oh my God!
Like that shit blows mine.
Thank
I'm
God
like,
I never heard somebody say that, Anna. I might have lost my mind.
Kai and Anthony said it.
Who?
Kai and Anthony.
Who is that?
Carmelo's son.
Well, my boy can't even talk English. He should still be in high school. He should have went to English as a second language. What the hell does he know about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? Out of here. You know what? I didn't even know he wasn't even a starter on Syracuse. I watched their game the other day. He don't even start.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll probably be a one and done, huh?
No, I see him at least playing one more year.
You think? I hope so.
think he'll play
Maybe
one
he'll
more
learn
year.
how to talk.
Well, not only that, but
Forgive me, all
That's
you
how
Melo-
these young kids talk these days, though.
Yeah, forgive me,
that
Melo
is how they
fans
talk.
out there.
But no, in all honesty, I think he'll play one more year. I think that he realizes that if he enters the draft this year, his projection and ceiling in terms of where he be forecasted won't be that as high as if he waits another year, and then
I
he can
hope so.
play it out. Because apparently this draft class, which I know none of these guys, is exceptionally loaded. I haven't started on my draft analysis yet to really take a look at it.
It's going to be decent, Av, like any other draft. We'll get into that another day. The first 7-8 players.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe the first 10 in that.
Yeah, and then I love this, the greatest draft ever. Yeah, and where are these guys at today? Other than Edgecombe, what's the kid's name in Dallas? Cooper.
Yeah,
he ain't all that.
But I mean, as far as playing, and you know what? You know what's really helping this kid? And it's sad because most young players don't get to do this. His team sucks so bad that they're giving him opportunity to score. Go out there and score, Av. Go ahead, Anna. Just keep shooting because there's nobody else. And then you trade Anthony Davis. So this guy got free reign. Where Edgecombe is actually playing in a system. If it was my vote, guys, he'd be rookie of the year. I think other than his excellent offense, he's probably made some of the best defensive stops to win games in the NBA this year.
I can't disagree. I think that he should be a runaway in terms of rookie of the year.
They're going to look at numbers, though.
But not only that,
number one.
not only that, they're going to look at headlines. They're going to count how many times a specific player grabbed the headline.
Right.
And it'll be similar to how when LeBron won Rookie of the Year over Melo, when the numbers freaking heavily favored Melo.
Right.
We know they're gonna give it to Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Because we know they gave that number 1 pick to Dallas. They not
Yeah.
if they don't give it to him, they're basically saying they fucked up.
The NBA will say that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, Anna, but and again, he has the luxury to go out there and just shoot all day. He got nobody else out there with him, so he's having a field day. Jason
Exactly,
ain't saying nothing.
Hey, Marlon, and you know why they're doing it, right? I'll say it. I have no problem. Because he's white. That's it. That's the only reason.
Sort of.
White.
I hate hearing that because I get into arguments with our boy Bishop.
Right.
With him and
I love those.
With Joker.
Yeah.
I don't think he's man, this dude's on the verge of getting right now. He's second behind Westbrook in career triple doubles. He's probably going to be the first center to average a triple double in 2 straight years, and who knows when. And Bishop will still go to his grave thinking this. Well, he don't play that good at defense. Who plays defense in the NBA?
I'm sorry, and I hope that you repeat this to him. If Joker goes at the rate that he's going right now, he could be the greatest big man
ever
in not only of this generation, but he could possibly surpass, if he stays healthy and things work out, he'll surpass Kareem, he'll surpass Wilt, he'll surpass Robinson, he'll surpass all of them. And yes, if he does it right, he could surpass LeBron. Now, biggest issue is he has to be able to stay healthy.
Right.
Which big men have a tendency to not do.
Yeah. And I will say this. Get into all the schematics. OKC had the best record. When has the MVP? That was the criteria. Your team had the best record. Joker had better numbers last year than he did the 2 years he won the MVP.
Again, it's all about who they count how many times a headline.
I love that new saying though, Av. Voter fatigue. What does that mean? Voter fatigue. You got tired of voting?
Right, motherfucker.
Stop. Anyway.
Quickly, because I know you're down there. How do you think that the Hornets did?
Ooh. Anna, y'all still going to the game, right? We got to talk about this. How do we do this? Like, do we all try to get tickets near each other, or we just meet out in the lobby? You got tickets?
We're gonna. If we want to sit together, I guess one of us could send money to. Like, we all can send money to one person, and the person buy the tickets.
Yeah, good. That's a good idea. Because I'm not. Whoever's getting the tickets, I can't sit up top. If y'all afraid to spend a little money, then I can't sit with y'all because I ain't going up there.
So basically, 100 level and lower for you.
Huh? Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Av, watching this team play, they are fun. They are fun. And I kept telling y'all, when this Brandon Miller gets healthy, the Hornets were going to be a better team.
I honestly looked at it after the deadline. I looked at the Hornets roster and I was like, they get one more big piece.
They got Kobe White.
Right, they got Kobe White, but I don't know what the long-term deal is.
So did you see they fixed that trade because he's injured?
Yeah. They had to give up something.
They had to give up.
I just read it actually.
They took back a pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was like Kobe White and 3 picks. And
Yeah.
so now they're getting 2 because they found a calf injury.
Yeah.
In the
physical?
In the physical.
If they're going to be a playing team. Since the Knicks lost, there's no more tie. Who has the longest winning streak, the current longest winning streak right now?
It's the Hornets.
The Hornets. Because them and the Knicks both had 8. And the Knicks would go 9, then the Hornets would go 9, then the Hornets would go 10, and the Knicks would play after that. So
well, the Hornets are currently sitting at 10. They're tied with the Bulls with identical records of 24 and 28. They're a game and a half behind Atlanta. I think Atlanta got better, and I think Atlanta got a lot better. Being able to move off of KP and Trae Young and add some pieces. I think they're going to be. I think it's just a matter of time before they leapfrog both the Florida teams, because Miami and Orlando are only sitting about a game and a half above them. It's just a matter of time before they start knocking on the door on Philadelphia, which Philadelphia didn't really do anything. Toronto, they got Chris Paul, which he hasn't even reported yet.
Is he going to even
play?
They
told him not to report.
Oh God, go home, Chris.
Go home, Chris.
He should be working for Amazon. Come on. But I'll tell you what, Ab, if Charlotte makes the playoffs, if they make the playoffs,
State Farm guy.
State Farm. Yeah. State Farm. Yeah.
He don't even do that no more. They fired him from that. If Charlotte makes the playoffs and they get a home game, I'll be there. I will go support that because I supported them when they sucked. So I'm going to go.
Yesterday? You mean yesterday?
No, 10 games ago. But they're fun to watch, guys. Serious. That Knappel, have you say his name? He might win the 3-point contest.
Oh, Knappel?
Yeah, Knappel, yeah.
All right. And lastly, what do you think about the Bulls? They're moving off of Kobe White, but they made some other moves. What do you think about that? I mean, I feel bad for Mike Conley because, he went from Minnesota to Chicago to Charlotte only to sign back up with fucking Minnesota.
Yeah. He probably never even emptied his locker. Come on, the fix was in.
He didn't leave his street. What are you talking? He didn't leave his house. He's like, nah, I'm good.
I'll wait till the snow melts. I'll tell you what, though, guys. I thought when he got waived before the Knicks got Alvarado, I was like, man, he might be a good pick for a backup point guard. He still can ball, guy.
He still can ball.
He still can shoot. He can pass.
He can defend a little.
Yeah. I thought the Knicks would jump on that, and then I hear Alvarado, and then I hear he goes back to Minnesota. I was like, Lord have mercy.
I'm also hearing the same thing about Lonzo Ball, but I don't know how I feel about that one either.
He's still on Chicago, right?
No, he got
Cleveland.
waived.
Cleveland.
No, he got traded, and they
He got
said
traded
that
and
he
waived.
got traded to Utah,
Lonzo Ball?
Yes.
and then they said they're gonna waive him.
Wow. So he might end up back in Cleveland.
Either in Cleveland or unless he wants to go to Charlotte and go join his brother.
I think yes. I think Charlotte would be a better team without Ball. That Ball, the one we have now.
Right.
He's just something's wrong
He's
with
a
that kid.
knucklehead.
Yeah, something's wrong with that kid, man. Serious.
And lastly, your final take on the Wizards acquiring Anthony Davis. Anything you want to say to that?
Anthony Davis, Trae Young. They beat Detroit last night without all of that. I think they'll keep Young and Anthony Davis for at least next year. And they got some good young players, guys. I mean,
they do, and with both those guys, being street clothes, for the rest of the season, more than likely they're going to have a lot of time to play. But I just don't see what was the fucking point.
Me either.
I mean, it would have made sense if you got those guys in draft picks, which they didn't. They gave up a couple of draft picks, if I'm not mistaken.
And then you got Porzingis going to Golden State. What has he played this year? 15 games?
I think
17, I think.
11. I think it was only like 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
But any way you looked at it, Golden State is trying their hardest to make this Steph Curry go on a retirement tour as big as it possibly can, and I don't think it's going to make a difference. That ship has sailed, like you said, and it sailed like 3 years ago.
And you know what nobody else has noticed that before we go? That magic carpet and that Marlon the Magician shit in Miami, that's been dead for like 3-4 years, and nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's talking about Pat Riley's culture. That is gone, guys. They're gonna move what's his name up to the front office, Spoelstra. To save
I think that and this is why anybody who still claims to be a Miami Heat fan, like some other people we know,
all 10 of them.
All 10 or 11 of them, because they probably have grandkids. When they try to say, that they're better and all, it's like, no, you were better,
right?
But what Jimmy Butler showed you is that this organization is not what it used to be.
No,
that Heat culture shit is not in existence right now. It was a nice memory, but it's kind of reminiscent to how we Knicks fans look back on the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a nice time. We had more laughs than sadness, but at this point in juncture, it's time to kind of like change it up. And it's kind of crazy because I always envied and admired and revered Pat Riley, obviously for what he did with the Lakers and what he did for us in the Knicks, but what he did with Miami. And now, and yes, I also hated him for that too, but at the same time, I revered him. The fact that that it's come to an end, or it's coming down to an end, and it hasn't been like, no one's taken him to the back and put him out of his misery yet. It's kind of crazy because we used to love those rivalries.
I think he needs to go off into the sunset and Spoelstra takes his job.
Well, that needed to happen about a year ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, Av.
Well, at minimum 1 year, two at the most. But the reality is that they need to blow that team up and start from scratch. Anybody wants to argue with me, Bam out of Bayou, they need to move off of Bam.
Right. Yeah, send Bam to Golden State.
Or to New Orleans or some shit.
Yeah, send Hero to maybe Charlotte, Chicago. And you're right, start from scratch. Put Spoelstra up top. Get a new coach, good young coach. Your ship has sailed, guys. Think about this, fellas. And they spent all that money, all that hype with the big three, and they won 2 championships. Really? That was your get-out-of-jail-free card? All that money, all that topsy-turvy, all this creating big three shit, and you won 2 chips? And then got smoked in the other 2? That was your goal? God bless you. You won 2 chips. We can't take that away from you. But for what you did and what you accomplished, that's embarrassing. Serious. That's embarrassing. And their first championship was semi-embarrassing, too. Pat Riley comes out the box and kicks Stan Van Gundy to the curb, and they win a championship.
You know what's crazy? They just recently celebrated the 20-year anniversary.
Yeah. Was Stan Van
Shaq
Gundy
and
there?
Wade and all them.
Yeah, I bet Stan Van Gundy wasn't there, was he?
I think he was because he was broadcasting. He was broadcasting it.
Oh, Lord. Anyway. All right.
But, yeah. Well, we will be back on Sunday afternoon following the Knicks and the Celtics. Hopefully, this will be a much better time. I want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you for joining us. And, again, special thanks to Domstradamus for joining us on the special episode. Horrible night. Final score, the New York Knicks, 80. The Detroit Pistons, 118. For Kev, our co-host, Brass Taz, the Parlay Lord, Domstradamus, Mrs. Knicks, my sister right there. We will see you on Sunday. I'm Knickerbocker Ave, your boy, the infamous one, saying keep talking that Knicks and Ish, New York. Keep on talking that Knicks and Ish everywhere you go. Be sure to hit a like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing is always caring. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. And if you haven't already done so, please do feel free to visit the Knicks Shopify and cop yourself some merch. We will see you on Sunday. Have a good night.
Hit the outro.
Yes, ma'am.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. That's the Parlay Lord. You know we lick Knickerbocker have a talk.